Likewise. Okay, guys, we're gonna get jumped right in. How many of you did the homework?
I did it so far.
You did?
Mhm.
Okay, great. And Arif, how about you?
The same problem that happened earlier was happening again,
You
so I
could not get
couldn't do
into
it.
you couldn't get into the reading.
Yeah, and I couldn't find the code you posted.
Okay. So the code, I should have placed that code. Did I not send it in WhatsApp?
Oh, and WhatsApp?
Well, also remember that I gave it to you. Yeah, WhatsApp. I think I might have placed it there. But the other thing I want you to know is I placed it in the chat last time. So if you're not
Oh,
writing that down, it's also, let's see if this is the class code up here.
could you send in the chat again?
Yeah. Oh, it's also in the homework. You see right here. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I want to show you also. I try to place it in more than one place. And you can see in the homework here, it's in yellow. Do you see it there in your document? Or you can look on my screen. You can see it there. Um, Let me also place it in the, I'll
Yeah, I
put it
found.
in
I'll
the class.
finish it today right after class.
Yeah, I'll put it in the class stream also. I'm going to do something right here. Um, all right, so we're going to jump right into the reading part first. Okay, so um, Sharon, you already read the article and answered the questions. Is that right?
I believe so. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so let's look at this. Um, that's a wrong class.
Did I do?
All
Oh,
right.
wait.
I don't see the questions
Hold
answered
up.
here,
Whoa.
but
I,
you might have answered those questions. Or what's that?
yeah. No, I know I did. Like I did. Yes, yesterday.
Okay,
So
that's fine. That's fine. You can go back into the question set. Um, and I don't know why it doesn't show for you. And Arif, you haven't read this passage yet, right? Okay, so
Yeah, I just started doing it. I just opened it up to make sure it works.
okay, so let's go ahead and so it's explain to me how you guys each are reading. So Arif, what is the first thing you're doing? I know that you just started, but maybe pause. Um, and we'll just go through some of this at as a class. We want to leave enough time for the writing, so we'll have to stop this at 11:30 and go over questions. So, what's the first thing you're doing as you're looking at this? Talk to me, Arif.
I first
Or
skim
actually,
over.
no, uh, yeah, actually, you know what? Both of you guys put it in the chat.
we put what in the chat again?
Yeah. So, explain to me what was the first thing you did when reading this? Did you just start reading? Um, Were you doing this? What were you looking for? What was going in through your mind? what were, in other words, what were the steps? You can just name them. You put numbers. Wow. I'll do the same thing here. So so just write it in the chat. Okay. Now, Reeve, if you want to put what you're looking for.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I was visualizing the story word by word and imagining I was there. Okay, cool. Use visualization, and that's a powerful technique. Um, Sharon, did you just start reading?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I'm going to put some things here that I usually do when I read, and then which of these in the chat can you add? Would you add into your practice?
Wait, you said like what we can add to our practice, like just add on to our reading techniques?
To how you read. So next time you have an article, what additional steps would you take before reading or
Uh,
while reading?
and we have to put that in the chat, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right.
Arif, same with you. If you're looking at my list in the chat, one, two, three, four, five, and six.
So we have to choose one of them.
Yeah, choose one or even more that you're going to commit to using um, next time you read. And it could be today, it could be for homework, whatever it is.
So we write in the chat.
Yes. Mhm.
So we just write the number.
That's fine. Yeah, you can just write the number.
Okay.
Sharon, you can do the same thing if you want to just type the number. You can also see them on my screen. Okay, six. Okay, great.
You said we could do more than one, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Mhm. I love visualizing, by the way. Sorry, I added one of his in there as well. Oh, and then even skimming, I think that's nice, Arif. That's that's a really good strategy there too. Look through pictures, captions, read, visualization. Great. Okay, super. Okay, you know what we're gonna do now? Because um Arush is not here, I don't know what happened. And also because I don't think he's in the waiting group. Let me double check. I can double check here. Yeah, I don't see him in the waiting room. Um, So let's plan it this way. We're not going to take a lot of time to read this. It would take more than 15 minutes. So what I'd like us to do is let's practice this active reading. Let's go through the passage one more time. So we're just going to, and this should only take like 5 minutes or less to do this. And we might even read the first, where are we here? Right here. Yeah, we might even read the first paragraph just to double check our predictions if we made any. Okay. So let's do that. And then what I'd like you to do for homework is finish the reading and finish the questions. And that just means for you, Sharon, that you have less homework. But
It's
during the writing,
surface
I
up,
might actually
right? For
strips
like
up.
for the surfers up like article for do I just need to
If you
finish?
did that, yeah, if you did that already, then well, I'm probably going to assign another reading passage, but the other boys will do both of them. You'll just have to do one because you finished it. So
All right, yes,
so
sir.
again, for homework, I'm going to give you guys an additional passage
All
to
right,
do
yes,
for Friday. Okay?
yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. So here we go. Um, so today's surfers are leaving tradition behind and taking it to the sky. I have no idea what means by that other than I think they're flying up in the sky. So notice what I'm doing right now is I'm quickly showing you what you should be doing um, to skim. Now I'm looking at the picture here. 10-time world champion Kelly Slater caught big air at the Hurley Pro surfing competition in Southern California. So I see here, I don't think he's in the air. I don't know why they're saying that, but I don't think he's flying in an airplane, right? So I think it's probably a different kind of surfing move that they're going to talk about. I think that this, and here's my initial prediction. And let me ask you guys, what kind of passage is this going to be? We're thinking about the four different types of authors' purposes. We're thinking about inform, persuade, um, no, that's the other, entertain, or describe. So which of those four do you think?
Well, I think it's like describe because well this is like talking about like leaving hold up. This is like talking like leaving like surfing tradition for like more advanced surfing and like take it to the sky. So it's like describing how they're doing it. Oh, that's like what my thinking is. So I think it's describe.
Okay. And then Arif, how about you?
Uh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
I think it also is describe.
Yeah. And so if it was informing us, it might give us the steps how this is done.
Yeah,
It probably goes into that, but it's really going through these in rapid succession when you start reading it. So
it's
okay, I
like
think I agree with you
describing the
guys.
different ways and everything.
Okay, keep that in mind as we read, because when you come to a difficult question, one of the things you can ask yourself is, wait a minute, I already know the author's purpose. He's describing this, right? So sometimes the questions are going to sound like the passage is trying to persuade you of something. And you can know, you know what? I'm not going to fall for that trick. This is not a good answer here, right? So everything I'm trying to teach you right now is going to help your thinking when you actually get to those difficult questions. All right, I keep moving here. Now I can see that she's in the air and look, it says a front side grab. So it looks like they are describing something. Plus, I'm seeing plenty of pictures. So that really makes that prediction in my mind very solid. Um, all right. So it's going to give us, it's almost entertaining us in a way, but I think it's giving us a lot of information. All right. Up or bust. Okay. In my mind, what that is predict is makes me think of. So watch what I do here. I'm looking at this heading and I'm going to make a prediction based upon that. I predict that this paragraph here is going to show me why these surfers are engaged in a brand new type of surfing. Or so when we say or bust, do you know what that means? Usually you hear that when people say uh, California or bust, Harvard or bust. What that means is your goal is Harvard, and you're going to put all of your efforts into that. And it's either you're going to go there or you're going to fail completely trying. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to make it to Harvard, or it's going to be a horrible disaster when I don't. Okay. So they want to compete. So that's why it's a competitive sport. I predict catch the wave here. I don't think it's going to be about how these surfers how they surf. I predict it's going to be about surfers deciding because catch the wave. If you know what that do you know what that means? Now, literally, it means catching a wave, but figuratively speaking, do you guys know what that means? Catch the wave.
No.
I think that's the wave. It's like you're um or figurative, like maybe like conquering the wave, mm, like
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Conquering the wave.
Hmm.
Um, you're right in a sense. So the wave is a new trend that happens. That's why it's a wave because it rises real quickly. You think about Instagram, you think about people making money on Instagram, just making like basketball videos and getting millions of followers. There's a wave of people doing that. So when you catch the wave, that means you try to get in at the right time so you don't miss the opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So I predict that's about surfers saying, you know what? I'm not going to be a boring surfer anymore. I'm going to do what these other surfers are doing. I'm going to fly through the air. Okay, so that's my prediction. Flying high is now I predict. Now, let me ask you. I want each of you to tell me what you predict. So think for a second. What do you predict here? I know we're going slow, but this is what good readers do. And they do it rapidly because they've done it a lot. If you make this a habit, this will happen for you really fast, right? What do you predict is going to happen here in this passage or this section, flying high? And what do you predict here, air sickness?
Well,
So I want you to think of it for just a second because I want to give each of you guys a chance so that you're not getting ideas from one another. Okay, makes sense. So just think about it for a second, a few seconds. Let's see, I predict. And don't try to cheat by looking at the words themselves because it doesn't matter what kind of prediction we make. It almost doesn't matter. What matters is we are setting a purpose for reading. So when we read, our brain is already going to be looking for details because the brain loves to solve puzzles. So if you have to turn flying high into a question, you can. How do surfers fly high? That's one way of looking at it. Okay. So is anybody ready? Take us through your prediction for both of these sections. It can be simple too. You don't have to overthink it.
um, I have a prediction for flying high. So, um, it's my prediction is like this passage is. I mean, well, this article is going to say for flying high is just uh about just taming, well, not taming, but just the how fast you're going on the waves, or when when the how do you feel when the waves take you up into the air?
Mm, okay. So the
Hmm.
physical
And like
flying
how
high.
do you and like inside your body, like how do you feel like this rush of wind like hits your face
Oh,
and like
okay, got it. I
yeah, you feel
yeah,
the
okay.
salt in your
So you're
face.
looking at
Yeah.
so there's a double meaning there. So flying high physically and flying high inside with how excited you feel, like that rush of adrenaline
Hmm.
and butterflies in your stomach, like being on a roller coaster. And
Yeah.
how about air sickness?
Mm. For air
Okay, let's
sickness.
go. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll let you think about that. Arif, how about you? What was your prediction? Oh, he's out of the. I think he dropped out. I don't
Oh,
know what happened.
he's out of the
Yeah,
year.
he might have got a bad connection or something in
Oh,
there. Okay, here he goes.
I could say what for air sickness.
Okay. Arif, what was the last thing you heard us say? We were
Uh,
making predictions about flying high, that
yeah,
particular
sorry, my
section.
Wi-Fi gone out. We've had a lot of power outage this week.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Okay, what do you predict based upon this heading right here, flying high? So what Sharon said was he predicts that this section is going to talk about how
How to get
surfers.
high on your surfboard?
Okay, all right, great, super. All right, air sickness, we can do the same thing. So let's make a quick predict. Let's make it really quick. Let's not overthink it. I predict air sickness is going to be about how, I don't know, some surfers get sick on a surfboard because I can't think of, oh, no, I know what it means. I predict it's going to be about, when you're really into something, it's like you have basketball fever. Have you ever heard of that before? I love basketball so much. I'm playing it like 20 hours a day. I have basketball fever. I can't get over it. I'm so happy, right? It's kind of like ironically. So air sickness, I think, is going to talk about how these surfers, once they know how that happens, that they can fly in the air, they're never the same. They never go back to boring surfing again. What do you predict, Sharon?
For air sickness,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
Mhm.
same thing about like it could be like what you said or like a different way. So air sickness could be like um I'm like I can't get enough of surfing or like
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant too.
mhm, yeah, but like
Yeah,
or it just
Gotcha.
or it could mean like by the physical way about like the
Mm.
cons of for surfing, like just getting like accents in the water or just something like
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Got it. Good job. Good job, guys. All right. And Arif, I heard you agreeing with that.
yeah.
Where the waves are. Um, okay. Why? Let me ask you the question this way. Why is there a section that says where the waves are? How does that fit in with the rest of what we're talking about in surfers? So there's a new type of way of surfing where you fly through the air. But um, why? So how important are where the waves are? So I want you to think about that for a second, and then I'll start with the Reeve first, and then I'll go with Sharon, then I'll go with my own thing. So we're gonna go in reverse order this time. So think about this for a second, and then let me know when you're ready, and then you can just say
I
I'm ready.
think it's about like where to find the good waves to get on your surfboard and get like really fast and everything.
So are you saying that this type of to do this type of surfing, like if you were just boring surfing,
Yeah,
regular surfing, like you could find a lot of waves,
yeah,
but if you really wanted to fly in the air, you'd have to look in special places or special conditions out there on the ocean. How about Sharon?
Well, Honestly, part of me just agrees with Arif because he was right about what he said about about the waves being in different places or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
and then like a
Oh,
part of
that's right,
me,
because you read. That's right, because you read. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt, but that's right, you did read.
yeah. And then like a part of my thing says like just like how fun the waves can be, like where the waves are, like it could be around anybody.
Mm,
Like you can go to the
got
beach,
it.
you can go for fun, or like you could be professional at it. It's just anything
Got
that
it.
you want to do with the waves, where the waves are to you. So
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Nice. 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 Okay. Right. So we are done with this. So your homework, and don't, later today I will put it up in WhatsApp, but let's let's put it in just in
Can I get water real quick?
sure. Yeah. I'm going to put it in this open document because this open document here, a lot of times it has the homework also listed. So usually you can find homework in two places here. Okay. So um shared eight. Morning. Good. Okay. Let's quickly pick. So I will pick an article for you guys to put up there. And just keep in mind when you open up the homework, it'll have the class code for ReadWorks. So don't. I'm not going to spend time now, so that we can save more time for the reading for the writing. Excuse me. Okay. So here we go. Um, those are transition words. I'm not going to look at those yet. All right. You guys ready?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, you're both
Yeah.
there. I'm hoping. Let me see. Okay, cool. All right. So, um, did you guys turn your short list of 6-word memoirs that were placed in order into a paragraph form? If so, I want you to copy and paste it over here below. Ariv, you have a section right here, and everyone else has their own section here. So, and if you have not done that, then I want you to do that now. So go up in this document. So you need to open it up. So I will share the document itself in the chat. Um, copy.
Will this will be on the writing method, like the Google Classroom, right?
Yeah, Google Classroom.
All
Yeah,
right,
but
cool.
if you just open it up in the chat, you're gonna get right to that document.
I'm on my
Yeah.
phone, so
Oh, okay.
like if I use my computer, then I my what you would call it, mic doesn't work.
Oh, your mic doesn't work. Okay.
But I can still go on Google Classroom and stuff and do the work and material.
Oh, yeah, totally. And you can log on to um it's going to be it's sometimes it's possible to log on with your computer and your phone, but if it can make some strange sounds because sometimes there's a feedback loop of
Yeah.
audio
Hmm.
that will make it kind of, but if you mute one of them, like if you mute your phone, for example, and you can hear me through your computer, then you can still when you need to talk, you can unmute.
Yeah. Hmm.
So however you want to work that out is up to you. Okay, so go ahead and do that. You're gonna have to find your writing, and it's Yeah, it's up here in this box on where it says week two, session two. Any questions there, guys?
I'm good. Thank
You're good. Okay, so Arif, you're good.
Yeah.
Good. I want to see your story like in a full paragraph, and then we're going to work on these. I will look for our next reading passage.
So we just copy and paste what we wrote into the story and then change it to paragraph form.
Yeah, I mean, by cutting and pasting it, it's already going to be in a paragraph if
Uh,
as long as you don't have it in a list. Yeah. So yeah, however that works for you, you can it's there's a lot of ways to do that. Um, okay, what I'm going to do here. Okay, open session document. There we go. Okay, here we go. Some homework. Well, I go back to the chat and pick up some of these reading strategies. Visualizing and skimming. Okay.
but we put periods at the end of them, right? Or no?
Yeah, that's not going to matter at the moment because we're not editing just yet. Now, today we're going to work on development of our story, how it actually flows from one to the next, what missing pieces we need, what transitions, and that sort of thing. Okay, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. And Sharon, do you have yours that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. Like I'm
Okay, no worries. Yeah, no worries.
I just put all this into um a paragraph, right?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Okay, let's take a look. Nice. Okay, are both of you guys done?
No, yeah.
If not, okay, that's everything right there.
Yeah,
Are you
not
sure?
yet.
Okay, no worries. If you are done, I want you to peek at
Yeah, I just
some of,
finished.
oh, that's fine. I want you to take a peek at some of these transition words that are very specific to narrative writing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Reeve, can I talk to you for a second about how this helps in reading?
Sure.
Okay, so these are signal words here. So, yes, we can use transitions as writers, and we're
So do I
saying,
just do I just put them in my writing?
yeah, but I'm going to model this for you. So you don't have to worry about doing that just yet. What I want to show you
Okay.
here is these are transitions for obviously putting things in order. Then suddenly, just as at first, meanwhile, after that, we went to the store. Eventually, we got the potato chips. And before I knew it, my mother said, "Hey, you forgot the Indian tea." And in the distance, I could see my father um, jumping up and down later that day, right? So let me ask you a question. When you read these kinds, you see these words, and let's say you're reading an article on ReadWorks, and you come up with these signal words. What do these signal words tell you about the kind of um, purpose the author has for writing that article? So if you're coming across a lot of these types of transitions in an article, what type of writing are you dealing with? See those words there? Does the question make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you read these, and then Sharon, you can jump in here too. When you read these kinds of transitions in an article,
Yeah.
what kind of writing? So here's the thing. Let me back up. When you guys are reading an article, I want you to get used to asking the question, whether it's before you read the article, during the time you read the article, or after you read the article. What kind of text am I reading? What's the structure of this text? Is it telling me a story? Is it entertaining me? Is it trying to persuade me to change my opinions or my actions, which is persuasive or argumentative? Is it analyzing something? I mean, there's more than just four authors' purposes. Obviously, there's probably about six altogether. But what type of writing would you guess is here? And or tell me what the author's purpose is. If you see a lot of these types of words in an article, what's
Wait,
the
so
answer?
I have to say I have to say like why like what like defines these words or I'm confused.
No, yeah. So, okay, let's go to an article. Okay, let's say we're reading a passage here. Okay. And you're not familiar with this passage here, but you're noticing in this passage there's a lot of these words.
Hmm.
Then suddenly, just as, at first, meanwhile, after that. Okay. What kind of article is that then?
This is okay. Well, I think this is like
Right here.
a narrative, right?
Yeah. He's telling his story.
Yeah, it's like
His purpose.
defining.
Yeah.
He's defining like the day, like first, after, like those kind of stuff, like what he did or like what they do. So
Yeah. So is he trying to persuade you?
hmm it's like persuasive writing.
What makes you think that? What words here are persuasive?
All right, so it's like persuasive is like after that or like eventually, because like or in that moment, at first or suddenly, those are like persuasive because persuasive, they're like, well, first they're like intriguing too, they're like getting you into the story, and they're like thinking, oh wow, this is like a really good story, and like it's surfing, right? So like maybe this wants you to take up surfing. So like those are the words that make you pick up that sport or pick up like that hobby that you want to do. Those are the words that like um
Okay.
for you.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
And stories can persuade us. They can. Um, so, but in the purest sense, so I'm looking up transition words for persuasive. Um, okay, this is not helping me. Um, what are transition words that are specific to persuasive writing? Question mark. Yeah, you're right in a certain sense, but the answer, um, and you're not wrong, but when you see these, it's not necessarily persuasive. Like before I knew it, something happened. This is all telling you what's happening next later that day. But persuasive would be more like as a result, right? As we can see, because do you kind of see that now? You're trying to persuade somebody, well, to do something, right? So I don't want to go off into a rabbit trail here too much. Arif, are you understanding what we're saying here? That when you see a lot of these types of words in what you read, I want you to say to yourself that the author is trying to tell me a story. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's very valuable when we read, that we keep in mind what the author's purpose is, because when we do come to some difficult passages or some difficult questions, and when you're taking the SAT, for example, this is going to help you to eliminate a lot of bad question answers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're getting into the reader's mind. And guess what? High school reading is almost all about inferring things, guessing. It won't tell you in the passage specifically what the author is trying to tell you. It'll show you, and you're going to have to figure that out. That's what makes reading high school literature more difficult, because you have to read in between the lines. You have to, it's called inference, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right. That's a long tangent. Okay. I didn't realize I was going to spend so much time on that, but that was some pretty good discussion there, Sharon. And Ariva, I know that you understood that as well. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at some of these transitions words here, and I'm going to model for you this. So I'm gonna take both of your writings, and I'm going to give you some transition words here. So what are we trying to do right now? We'll go for until 12:05 if you want, if that's okay with you, because we started kind of late. Um, okay, is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we trying to do right now? And for homework, we're going to try to make this into a full story. Now you have the freedom to turn everything into a sentence. But remember here, this is almost like an outline here. So what you could do is you could, oh, let me do something here. You could add some detail. So I'll put a bullet point here. So Arif, LeBron, so who passed the ball? Who looked up and LeBron slammed? I'm a little confused there, but I love your ideas. You've done everything I've asked. This is good, but the reader now hasn't been in our tutoring sessions, right? Our reader just looks at this and doesn't know what's really going on. So who's passing the ball? Is that LeBron talking?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So I'm going to show you what I how you can do this. Okay. Once Okay, do you see what I've done here? Arif, do you see what I've done here?
Yeah.
Okay, I've expanded this right here. Okay, so I'm done. I can move to the next part. So do that with the next part. So you're going to go up here to where there's a bullet point, and you can add new bullet points if you want. Sorry. Uh, right? You can just add bullet points. So turn this into the story. Um, any questions there?
No. No.
No questions. Okay, do that with the whole story. Now, if you have to add new 6-word memoirs in here, okay, those spaces are for words, right? So you can add a word. That's another 6-word memoir. Go ahead and do it. Add as many of those as you need to. And then by the time we come back on Friday for our office hour, I want
Wait.
to see the.
What does the D and the ST stand for?
Well, I just typed it at random.
Oh.
I was just typing. That's all. So I'm just giving you an example that you can use those bullet points to add whatever you need to into the story. Okay. Sharon, I'll do the same thing for you. Okay. Oh, I noticed also here, Arif, that this is not in paragraph form, but that's okay because once you're done with all your bullet points and you can pretty much erase this, you can get rid of that because this is your story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we'll just have a bunch of bullet points, okay? And then put them all together. Like when you have this part of the story here, that part, just add it there until you have a complete story. And then you can remove the bullet points.
Okay.
Just get rid of them. And then you have a full paragraph, right? So but that's a good way to start. And then Sharon, is that pretty plain and simple for you? I'll do the same. Would you like me to do the same with one of
Yeah.
yours?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you've gotten this already in a paragraph form. So one
Yeah.
of the things you can do, you can just maybe it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. All I really care about is I'm going to work on one part of this at a time. The fans cheered and clapped hands. Okay. Players loudly dunked orange ball and swish. Okay. Okay. Um, oops. Okay. So the arena. So, and same with Arif. If you want to add in some of the setting, now setting is when and where the story takes place. So this is where the arena in, I just can make this, you can change this, okay, in Dallas was so loud. The floor shook. The fans in their colorful blue jerseys cheered and then clapped loudly with each dunk and steal. Just let yourself go there. Yeah, that's my example for you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make it vivid, make it real. And then here's the last part. We're almost done. 2 more minutes. Look at these transition words here. Which transition can I use? So Ariv, for you. Then suddenly. Okay. Now notice I took this word then and suddenly and I combined it together. But I could have just put then or suddenly, or I can put next. So I want you to take some time to read through these during homework and use as many of these transitions as you can in your story, especially when you're going from one section to the next.
Mhm.
All right. So for you, transition. Okay, there you go. You can do that throughout. And I'm just going to drop this in for you. Okay. You can put transitions at the end of these as well. But, as long as you can see that those transitions are there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And same thing for you, Mr. Charon.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to put the homework in here. Okay. So to sum up, and then I'm going to create this in a document. So it looks kind of like a finished product right here. See like that? See how organized that looks?
Yeah.
Okay. But for now, just so that I can see if you have any questions, your homework is in two parts. Number one, read and answer questions for Surfers Up. Okay, Charon, you're already done with that.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Or read, yeah, read, and then plus both of you need to do the other article as well, the rise of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere.
Okay.
Remember to use as many of these reading strategies as possible. Sorry, I meant to say visualizing, and what was the other one? One of you had a good one also. They were both good. Skimming, right? Skimming. And these are not in any particular order. Um, Okay, so I want you to use as many of these as you committed to while you read. I want to make you better readers, even better. Um, okay, part two, work on your writing to expand your story with dialogue, descriptive writing. What do we mean by that? Describe things. What color are they? How tall? Don't just say basketball player, the dark, tall basketball player with the long arms. The referee with with dark glasses and a mustache, right? Sounds creepy. The fat referee, with blonde hair, something like that. Okay. And um, other details. So the reader can see everything. Use narrative transitions throughout. All right, guys, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, no.
Okay, please do your homework and reach out to me if you can't. Arif, don't wait until the day of.
Yeah.
Let me know if you cannot find that
Okay.
code. Here's what I'll do also. I'm going to put it here in the homework so you can find homework. I'm probably going to put it in Google Classroom as an assignment also. You realize that, right? So over here, what you're going to see, pay attention to the screen here. Um, week 3, you can see here homework for ninth graders there.
Yeah.
So that'll be under day 2. So I'll put day 2 next, and I'll put homework for ninth graders there. So, but it'll also be in the open session document. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
I will see you on Friday.
All right, cool. See you Friday.
Take care. Take care of yourself. All right.